I'm Catherine Mukes, licensed professional counselor.
And hi, I'm Dr. B, pediatric neuropsychologist.
And welcome to Let's Talk. So, today we wanted to talk a little bit about social media. Woo-hoo. Because you guys are probably watching us on some form of social media. Thank you, we appreciate it. But we know that sometimes for some people, social media can start to be a stressor. Even as it's designed to keep us connected and keep us informed in certain ways, for some people it starts to be a major stressor. And for some people it can start to increase feelings of anxiety. And so some of the ways that you may find out that you're having some anxiety, for example, is if you feel anxious when you're not able to check your social media accounts, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you're, needing to get to your phone all the time to check, 24/7, or you start to feel nervous or anxious if your phone is not right by you because you don't have access to social media. If you are kind of withdrawing, from your family and friends or important conversations in order to attend to your social media account, that definitely can be some signs that number one, you have some habits that you develop relating to social media that may not really be so healthy in regards to your daily functioning, and that you may experience some worry or almost separation anxiety, from your social media account.
And even including some compulsions, like if you find that everything that you do, you have to tweet about it or Facebook it or Instagram it or whatever random other things are out there that I have no idea what they are about it. Feeling like you have to, everybody needs to know, they need to know, they need to see what I'm doing. It can be kind of compulsory as well.
Yeah, exactly. And with, those type of behaviors surrounding social media, whether it's a type of compulsion or whether it's a separation kind of anxiety related to it, we want to talk about what to do when you're experiencing those type of emotions or behaviors surrounding social media. One thing that tends to happen is that there's a anxiety that develops because there's a comparison part of this social media thing where you are looking at multiple people, what they're posting, all of their
highlights.
Yes, right, the highlights of their lives, and we often engage in comparing ourselves to others. So, they did this and they did that. And I haven't done that, and I should have done that, and I could have done that, or I would have done that.
Right, and we start feeling the pressure of having to either meet that expectation that someone else has put out there, and even though it may not be an expectation for them, suddenly we internalize those things as these are things that I ought to be doing. So if my friends are posting pictures on the beach, then I should have been out there on the beach with them. And so one of the tips that we have for dealing with those types of feelings is remembering that sometimes the images or the pictures or the moments in time that we see are not the full picture of what all is going on. So for example, you may have that person on your social media that every month it looks like they're in some exotic foreign place. But what you may not know on the back end is that they're about to declare bankruptcy because they've maxed out all of their credit cards trying to pay for those things. And so oftentimes people will post the highlights or the sparkly pieces of their life, but don't necessarily post all the things that go along with it. So once you're comparing yourself to basically a fantasy. So remembering that the picture or the image or the statement or the whatever it is that you see before you is not the entire picture.
Absolutely. Another tip is to limit the time on social media. If you find yourself really experiencing anxiety, making a lot of comparison, and you're feeling down, about where you are because you're making these comparisons, or you may not be purposefully making the comparisons, but it kind of just happens without you really thinking about it. You may have to limit your time. You know, nowadays at least on iPhone, there are limitations you can set limitations for how much you're accessing your social media and other things. We talked about games and YouTube and things like that. You can limit your access. Now make sure you watch us in your time limit that you set. But you can limit your access to those things. So it's important to look at your phone settings and determine, you know, what's an appropriate amount of time for you to spend on the social media.
Absolutely. Being able to definitely limit those times. And for some people, what's also helpful is to have blackout periods. And sometimes it's just from social media. Sometimes for people, it's from all electronic types of things. So being able to take some time and say, okay, you know what, I've realized I've been feeling a lot more down lately, and it's related to, you know, seeing all of this and all these things in social media, or, you know, I'm looking at myself going, oh gosh, I missed somebody's important event because I was too busy posting or doing whatever on social media, and maybe I need to take some inventory and have a period of blackout so that I can reconnect in real time, in real life, with the people and situations that are really important to me in the moment. And so that might mean saying, okay, for the next 5 days, the next week, I'm going to deactivate all of my accounts, or I'm going to have someone that I know and trust put a password lock on it so that I can't get access to it until I go back to them, and being able to do those things, because we know social media is it's so easy for us to do, because we carry it around in our pockets or in our purses on a regular basis. And so being able to be cognizant for ourselves that this is affecting me and impacting me in a way that's not helpful for my growth and development.
Absolutely. So the tips are just being aware of when you're starting to experience anxiety or sadness or other emotions surrounding social media. So being aware if you're spending too much time on there, you have this attachment to your phone, your compulsions, having to post everything about what's going on in your life, and being mindful that we don't always see the full picture of everyone's lives, and we may see the highlights and the high moments of someone's life, but it doesn't paint a picture of reality for most of us. So think about that when you are ready to make comparisons or feeling some anxiety about that. And then finally, limiting your time on social media, whether that's and you're limiting your daily time or taking a blackout period, but just really assessing what's necessary, you know, for you, a necessary amount of time to spend on your social media accounts.
Absolutely. So those are our tips for navigating social media as it relates to feelings of anxiety and worry around our social media. So we hope this video has been helpful for you. If it has been, give us a thumbs up, share it with a friend who might find it useful or helpful, and definitely leave us a comment in the comments section about this video or other topics you'd love to hear about from us. Until next time, see you later.
See ya.